in YouTube land, and welcome back. And continue on reading Canto 10, the Kingdom and Godheads of the Little Mind. Sri AUROBINDO. SAVITRI. So we left off at line 254 or so. A dwarf, three-bodied Trinity was her serf, first smallest of the three, but strong of limb, a low brow with a square heavy jowl, a pygmy, thought needing to live in bounds, forever stooped to hammer the fact and form, absorbed and cabined in external sight, it takes its stand on nature's solid base. A technician admirable, a thinker crude, a riveter of life to habits grooves, obedient to gross matters tyranny, a prisoner of the molds in which it works. It binds itself by what itself creates. A slave of a fixed mass of absolute rules. It sees the law, the habits of the world. It sees as law the habits of the world. It sees as truth the habits of the mind. In its realm of concrete images and events, turning in a worn circle of ideas, in ever-repeating old unfamiliar acts, it lives content with the common and the known. It loves the old ground that was its dwelling place, abhorring change as an audacious sin, distrustful of each new discovery. Only it advances step by careful step. And fears as if a deadly abyss, the unknown, a prudent treasurer of its ignorance. It shrinks from adventure, blinks at glorious hope, preferring a safe foothold upon things to the dangerous joy of a wideness and of height. The world's slow impressions of its laboring mind, tardy imprints almost indelible, increase their value by their poverty. The old sure memories are its capital stock. Only what sense can grasp seems absolute. External fact it figures as sole truth. Wisdom identifies with the earthward look, and things long known and actions always done are to its clinging hold a balustrade of safety on the perilous stair of time. Heaven's trust to it are the established ancient ways, immutable laws man has no right to change, a sacred legacy from the great dead past. Or the one road that God has made for life. A firm shape of nature never to be changed, part of the huge routine of the universe. A smile from the preserver and the worlds, sent down of old this guardian mind to earth, that all might stand in their fixed changeless type, and from their secular posture never move. One sees its circling faith to its task, tireless, as in assigned traditions round, in decayed and crumbling offices of time, it keeps close guard in front of custom's wall, or in an ancient night's dim environs. It dozes on a little courtyard stones, and barks at every unfamiliar light, at a foe who would break up its home, a watchdog of the spirit's since-railed house, against intruders from the invisible, nourished on scraps of life and matter's bones. In its kennel of objective certitude, and yet behind it stands a cosmic might. Hey, chill out with that. Not that blanket. Crazy little puppy dog. In a kennel of objective servitude, and yet behind it stands a cosmic might. A measured greatness is its vaster plan, a fathomless sameness rhythms the tread of life. The stars' changeless orbit furrow inert space, a million species follow one mute law. A huge inertness is the world's defense, even in change is treasured changelessness. Into inertia, revolution sinks. In a new dress, the old resumes its role. The energy acts, the stable is its seal. On Shiva's breast is stayed the enormous dance. A fiery spirit came next of the three, a hunchback rider of the red, wild ass. A rash intelligent leap down, lion-maned. From the great mystic flame that rings the worlds, with its dire edge at being's heart, then sprang the burning vision of desire, a thousand shapes it wore, took numberless names, in need of multitude and uncertainty, pricks it forever to pursue the one. On countless roads across the vast of times, through circuits of unending difference, it burns all breasts with an ambiguous fire, a radiance gleaming on a murky stream. It flamed towards heaven, then sank engulfed towards hell. It climbed to drag towards truth down. It climbed to drag down truth into the mire, and used for muddy ends its brilliant force, a huge chameleon, gold and blue and red, turning to black and gray and lurid brown. Hungry it started from a molted bow of life to snap up insects' joy, its favorite food. The dingy sustenance of a sumptuous frame, nursing the splendid passion of its hues, a snake of flame with a dull cloud for tail, followed by a dream brood of glittering thoughts. A lifted head with many tinged, flickering crest, it licked at knowledge with a smoky tongue. Man, these are some serious imagery you get from these descriptions. Wow. A whirlpool sucking in an empty air, it based on vacancy, stupendous claim, and nothingness born to nothingness returned. Man, as I read along, I'm watching the movie in my third eye from these great expressive words and this beautiful, how the poetry is just laid together. It's just hard not to have the movie play in the third eye. This is fabulous. Hope y'all are enjoying this as much as I am. A whirlpool sucking in an empty air, in nothingness born to nothingness returned, yet all the time unwittingly it drove towards the hidden something that is all. Ardent to find and capable to retain, a brilliant instability was its mark, to air its inborn trend, its native cue. At once to an unreflecting credence prone, and thought all true that flattered its own hopes. It thought all true that flattered its own hopes. It cherished golden things born of wish. It snatched at the unreal for provender. In darkness it discovered luminous shapes. Peering into a shadow hung half-flight, it saw hue images scrawled on fancy's cave, or it swept in circles through conjecture's night, and caught in imagination's camera bright scenes of promise held by transient flares. Fixed in life's air, the fleet hurrying dreams kept prints of passing forms and hooded powers, and flash images of half-seen verities on an eager spring to seize and to possess. Unguided by reason or the seeing soul was its first natural motion and its last. It squandered life's force to achieve the impossible. It scorned the straight road and ran on wandering curves, and left what it had won for untried things. It saw unrealized aims as instant fate, and chose the precipice for its leap to heaven. Adventure, its system, is the gamble of life. It took fortuitous gains as safe results. Error discouraged not its confident view, ignorant of the deep laws of being's ways, and failure could not slow its fiery clutch. One chance made true warranted all the rest. Attempt nor not victory was the charm of life. An uncertain winner of uncertain stakes, instinct its dam, and the life mind its sire. It ran its race and came in first or last, yet were its works nor small and vain nor null, it nursed a portion of infinity's strengths, and could create the high things its fancy willed. Its passion caught what calm intelligence missed, in sight of impulse laid its leaping grasp. On heaven's high thought had hidden in dazzling mist, caught glimmers that revealed a lurking sun. It probed the void and found a treasure there, half intuition purpled in its sense. It threw the lightning's fork and hit the unseen. It saw in the dark and vaguely blinked in the light. Ignorance was its field, the unknown its prize. All of these powers, the greatest was the last, arriving late from a far plane of thought, into a packed irrational world of chance where all was grossly felt and blindly done. Yet the haphazardly seemed the inevitable. Came reason, the squat godhead artisan, to her narrow house upon a ridge in time, adept or clear, contrivance in designs, a pensive face and close and peering eyes. She took her firm and irremovable seat, the strongest, wisest of the troll-like three. Armed with her lens and measuring rod and probe, she looked upon an objective universe and the multitudes that in it live and die, in the body of space and the fleeting soul of time, and took the earth and the stars into her hands to try what she could make of these strange things in her strong, purposeful, laborious mind, inventing her scheme lines of reality. And the geometric curve of her time plan she multiplied, her slow half-cuts at truth, impatient of enigma and the unknown, intolerant of the lawless and the unique, imposing reflection on the march of force, imposing clarity on the unfathomable. She strove to reduce the rules of the mystic world. Nothing she knew, but all things hoped to know, in dark inconscient realms once void of thought, missioned by a supreme intelligence to throw its vast ray upon the obscure vast. An imperfect light leading an erring mass, but the power of sense and the idea and word. She ferrets out nature's processes, substance, cause, all life to harmonize by thought's control. She with the huge imbroglio struggles still, ignorant of all but her own seeking mind. To save the world from ignorance she came, a sovereign worker through the centuries, observing and remolding all that is. Confident she took up her stupendous charge. There the low, bent and mighty figure sits, bowed under the arc lamp of her factory home, amid the clatter and ringing of her tools, a rigorous stare in her creative eyes, coercing the plastic stuff of cosmic mind. She sets the hard inventions of her brain in a pattern of eternal fixity, indifferent to the cosmic dumb demand, unconscious of too close realities, of the unspoken thought, the voiceless heart. She leans to forge her credos and iron codes and mental structures to imprison life, and mechanic models of all things that are. A little commercial break from our sponsor, Hearts Herbal Extract Labs, coming to Medford, Oregon soon. Next month we'll be moving up there in November to follow our dream. continue reading Sri Aurobindo. Whew, I've totally lost my place after that. Great hit of sauce. Whew, some wax. Man, that's yummy. The full flavor on that is just wow. Man, it's right to the... Anyways, healing, love, and light. That's what I make it with. Healing, love, and light. Try and do everything with that. All one. I'll just start over page 250. Oh no, here I am. In a pattern of eternal fixity, indifferent to the cosmic dumb demand, unconscious to all close realities of unspoken thought, the voiceless heart. She leans to forge her credos and iron codes and metal structures to imprison life and mechanic models of all things that are. For the world, she weaves a world conceived. She spins in stiff but unsubstantial lines. Her gossamer word webs of abstract thought, her segment systems of the infinite, her theodoses and cosmogonic charts and myths by which she explains the inexplicable. At will, she spaces in thin air of mind, like maps in the schoolhouse of intellect hung, forcing wide truth into narrow scheme, her numberless warring strict philosophies out of nature's body of phenomenon. She carves with thought's keen edge and rigid lines, like rails for the world magician's power to run. Her sciences precise and absolute on a huge bare wall of human nescience. Written around nature's deep dumb hieroglyphs, she pins in clear demotic characters the vast encyclopedia of her thoughts. An algebra of her mathematics, signs, her numbers and unerring formulas. She builds to clinch her summary of things on all sides, runs as if a cosmic mosque, tracing the scriptural verses of her laws, the daedal of her patterned arabesques, art of her wisdom, artifice of her lore. Healing, love, and light. This artifice, and her only stock, in her high works of pure intelligence, in her withdrawal from these senses trap, there comes no breaking of the walls of mind, there leaps no rending flash of absolute power. Victory to the divine light. Todos somos uno. Muy bien. I added that part, by the way. There dawns no light of heavenly certitude. A million faces wears her knowledge here, and every face is turbaned with the doubt. All now is questioned, all reduced to naught. Once monumental in their massive craft, her old great mythic writings disappear, and into their place start strict ephemeral signs. The constant change spells progress to her eyes. Her thought in an endless march without a goal. There is no summit on which she can stand and see in a single glance the infinite's whole. An inconclusive play is reason's toil. Each strong idea can use her as its tool. Accepting every brief, she pleads her case. Open to every thought she cannot know. The eternal advocate seated as judge. Healing, love, and light. Infinite for all parties involved, all one. Open to every thought she cannot know, the eternal advocate seated as judge, armors in logic, invulnerable male. 1,000 combatants for truth's veiled throne, and sets on a high horse back of argument, to tilt forever with a wordy lance, in a mock tournament where none can win, assaying thought's values with her rigid test. Balanced, she sits on a wide and empty air, aloof and pure in her impartial poise, Absolute her judgment seems, but none is sure. Time cancels all her verdicts in appeal. Although like sunbeams to our glowworm mind, her knowledge feigns to fall from a clear heaven. Its rays are a lantern's luster in the night. She throws a glittering robe of it on ignorance. But now and lost, her ancient sovereign claim to rule mind's high realm in her absolute in her absolute right. Bind thought with logic's forged infallible chain, or see truth nude in a bright abstract haze. A master and slave of stark phenomenon, she travels on the roads of erring sight, or looks upon a set mechanical world constructed for her by her instruments. A bullock yoked in the cart of proven fact, she drags huge knowledge bales through matter's dust to reach utility's immense bazaar. Apprentice she has grown to her old drudge, and aided since in her seeking arbiter. This now she uses as the assayer's stone, as if she knew not facts and are husks of truth. These husks she keeps, the kernel throws aside, and ancient wisdom fades into the past. The age's faith becomes an idle tale. God passes out of the awakened thought, an old discarded dream needed no more. Only she seeks mechanic nature's keys, interpreting stone wall laws inevitable. She digs into matter's hard concealing soil, unearthing the process of all things done. A loaded, huge self-work machine appears to her eyes, eager and admiring stare, an intricate and meaningless enginery, or ordered, faithful and unfailing chance, ingenious and meticulous and minute, its brute, unconscious, accurate device unrolls an unnerving march, maps a sure road, it plans without thinking, acts without a will. A million purposes serves with purpose none, and builds a rational world without a mind. It has no mover, no maker, no idea. Its vast self-action toils without a cause, a lifeless energy irresistibly driven. Death's head on the body of necessity engenders life and fathers consciousness, then wonders why all and was and whence it came. Our thoughts are parts of the immense machine, our ponderings but a freak of matter's law. The mystic lore was a fancy or a blind. Of soul or spirit we have now no need. Matter is the admirable reality. Guessing this is describing a early time in our consciousness. It was like all about having things, bling bling, gold in the grill, maybe diamond on the forehead, little jewel like that Buster that be on the TV. Anyways, it's all love and light. This is a time when consciousness was not where we're headed, which we're headed up, straight to source. And that is facts. It's crazy because when I tilt my hands up, accepting all the blessings from the universe, the light, the healing, this is in a state of acceptance. I see the light on the camera, it's the light coming down, and before I see it on the video right now, I feel it. Like when I sit like this, as soon as I open my palms, I feel the universe start to send me energy and bless me, and I bring it to my heart and rub it around, keep it there. And when I see people riding my bike in the park with my pit bull piggy in the back, I Care Bear stare them. Whether they know it or not, they're getting light blasted. Love and light. Healing, love, and light. Care Bear stare style. Believe that. All one. Where were we? The mystic's lore was a fancy or a blind. of solar spirit, we have now no need. Matter is the admirable reality, the patent, unescapable miracle, the hard truth of things, simple, eternal soul. A suicidal, rash expenditure, creating the world by a mystery of self-loss, has poured its scattered works on an empty space. Late shall the self-disintegrating force contract the immense expansion it has made. Then ends this mighty unmeaning toil. The void is left bare, vacant as before. Thus vindicated, crowned, the grand new thought explained the world and mastered all its laws. Touched by dumb roots, woke veil, tremendous powers, it bound to service the unconscious gins. 1 second, the puppy dog's outside on the patio. Healing. Love and light. Love and light. Healing. Love and light. Love and light. Love and light. Love and light. Healing. 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 Ooh, ooh, mm. Oh. Oh, excuse me. Woo, that was good. Always remember to bless your water with the highest intentions for cell regeneration, for divine DNA activation, for all that groovy stuff that you already know is occurring, but you just want to remind the universe through programming of your water what to do once it's inside your divine vertical meat suit. Because at this point, I'm calling them divine vertical meat suits, housing God and Goddess in flesh, until the time that we remember true selves and rise up earth to meet heaven. It's occurring right now. I know y'all feel it. I feel it. I love y'all. Now, hopping back in it. Oh, that's some really good medicine. Just a quick side note. If y'all have a problem with me smoking, I really don't care. It's my holy sacrament and my medicine. I had Tourette syndrome. I was diagnosed early, like on all kind of medications my whole early life. At 12, I was introduced to marijuana by some of the vatos and, homies before school, out by the track, like in 6th grade. I was able, that day, after a couple puffs on the blizzard, go into class, pay attention, didn't cause problems. I already made B's and A's without having to go to class, so this was just what I needed. Science, medicine, doctors, mom fought against it tooth and nail. I knew what my medicine was, Mary Jane. So I continued to smoke all through growing up until now. And I've been off medications of all sorts. I was on antidepressants, every medication in the book for ADHD, Tourette syndrome, bipolar, all the above. They tried to put me on the whole all of them. Here's the thing. My divine white wouldn't allow it. Marijuana's been my medicine. So what I'm saying is, it's been my dream to help people with healing as well, because it's healed me. I don't have tics anymore. My Tourette syndrome is pretty much non-existent. It helps with every aspect of my life. And I've started to make concentrates. I have a business, Gremlin City Wax, as well as Hearts Herbal Extract Labs, which will be opening up in Oregon soon. So look out for that. Anywho, I just want y'all to know that smoking might not be for everyone, but it's for me. So, that being said, page 254, book Canto 10, SAVITRI. Late shall the self-disintegrating force contract the immense expansion it has made. Then ends this mighty and unmeaning toil. The void is left bare, vacant as before. Thus vindicated, crowned, the grand new thought explained the world and mastered its laws. Touched the dumb roots, woke veil tremendous powers. It bound to service the unconscious jinns. DJINNS, those little buggers. Yeah, be careful. I don't want to make no deals with them, that's for sure. The hell you caught up. For life. I mean, they're not all bad, but you can do it all yourself. Like I said, gods and goddesses in the divine vertical meat suits are we, so internalize that. It's facts. The ends this mighty and unmeaning toil, the void is left bare, vacant as before. Thus vindicated, crowned the grand new thought, explained the world and mastered all its laws, touched the dumb roots, woke veil tremendous powers. Explain the world, that's confirmation. Explain the world and mastered all its laws, touched the dumb roots, woke, veiled tremendous powers. I already read that like 13 times, but I love that line, so, it's fire. It bound to service the unconscious jinns, oh yeah, those buggers. That like, Slimer and shit. That sleep unused in matter's ignorant trance, always precise, rigid, indubitable, but then on matter's rock of age is based. All based on matter. The whole stood up firm and clear-cut and safe. All staggered back into a sea of doubt. This solid scheme melted in endless flux. She had met the formless power inventors of forms. Suddenly she stumbled upon things unseen. A lightning from the undiscovered truth startled her eyes with its perplexing glare. Dug a gulf between the real and known.